$10,000 after tax in profit per month on a consistent basis. That's where you want to get to. That's your goal. And the question you have is, how the fuck do you actually get there? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. My name is Michael Bernstein. Over the last 5 years, I started making over 10K a month around 5 years ago. At this point, way more. It's multiple six figures per month, every month, consistently. But basically, yeah, like in this video, we're going to talk about the step-by-step system, what I would do if I would have to start from scratch, how I would go about it, and generally what the path is. Okay, so let's start with this. This very first step you have to take, the very, very first one, is stop and think. You need to understand and assess what you have in your life, which can bring you further or closer to 10K profit per month. And most of you guys are just being dumb about it. You're stuck in this hamster wheel and you just keep doing what you're doing and you're in your job. And for example, you're in your job, not because you like the job, but because you're in the job. Like you're staying in the job just because you're already there, which is the worst thing you can do in your life. So in my opinion, there's only one thing which you have to start out with is stop and think how you spend your day, like how you actually structure your day on an average day. Okay, you're gonna see that usually most people, they're gonna have like 8 hours of work. Okay, if you're part of that group, if you don't have the lucky opportunity and the privilege to work nothing and basically live with your parents and get rent paid from them, get food paid from them, and basically you're able to do this full time. If you are in this privileged situation, you can skip the first, like we're gonna put a timestamp, just skip there. But I'm first gonna talk to the people who actually have to work, and you're a regular human being who has a job and has to pay rent. First thing, after like the first thing you need to be thinking about is, what are you doing? What is your job? Is it good or is it bad? And why are you there? Because what I would do is I would make a list of criteria of how we evaluate what a good job is. And this is how I would start. All right. Picking the best possible job, which is not it's not that difficult, is step one. And I'm going to get to that right now. So I would literally make a spreadsheet and it would look something like this. Basically, you need to have categories over what this job has. So for example, number one is going to be money. Is the job well paid? All right, yes or no? If that's a no, and you basically have like, let's do it like this here. If it's a no, already this is an issue, and this needs to compensate you not getting paid. Okay, so for example, it's super fun. Is it super fun? Is it super fun or not? Like, be honest. Are your colleagues super nice? Is it like a really good experience to actually be at your job? Is it energy draining? Or you come back from your job and you're full of energy because it was the most amazing experience ever? My best guess would be that this is not there for you. Like, I would assume that most of you guys have a job which kind of sucks. Because guess what? A lot of people who have good jobs just stay there. They don't even want to have like a business. And this is something you also need to consider. There is an alternative, which is just get a good job. That's something which actually is a very, very valid career path. All right. And most people do it. And it's also totally fine. Okay. Now, what else is there? The next question you should be asking yourself is the skills. I don't know what this fucking graph is, but anyways, how much skill do you get from that job? So for example, you want to become a professional boxer, all right? And you're working in the boxing gym as a trainer and you're training kids, for example. That's your job. That's very related to your career path. So if you want to become a boxer, it makes sense that you're always spending time in the gym. In between the teaching lessons, you can get your own work in. That makes sense. Okay. The skill aspect is really high. If you want to become a videographer and you work in a firm where you basically learn how to do videography, it also makes sense. All right. So this is something which is super important. If, for example, and we're going to get to the business models, which you can pick from later, But if you want to do, for example, take organic, it makes a lot of sense to start out with a job which is somewhat related to that. So maybe to try to do product research for some bigger dropshipper, or doing some video content for free for some dropshipper, or paid, whatever. It makes sense to try to find a job in the niche where you want to develop a skill. Very, very important and super underutilized, because if you're, for example, working for me, I'm going to teach you everything. Number one, for free. And number two, better. Like I want you to be the best version of yourself, because then you're going to make me the most amount of money, right? So every employee I have, if they ask me a question, I'm going to take extra time to answer that, because it just logically makes sense. The same thing, and I'm not going to take any job requests after this video here, but like, just think about that. You can actually try to get paid to learn stuff. Sorry about that. I had to pick up the phone. But anyways, this is a really important part. This is something where you can literally you can make money to learn a skill. All right. This is something which most of you guys are not utilizing enough. If you want to do Facebook ads, go and work in a company where they're running Facebook ads, and you're going to get, they're going to teach you everything about Facebook ads so you can run the Facebook ads for them. You need to understand that. All right. This is one of the most powerful things you can do if you think a little bit longer term. Okay. But this is not the quickest way to get to 10K a month. This is very important. This is something which is sometimes going to extend their learning curve, and you're going to be able to jump to way bigger numbers. Okay. But in the beginning, you're not getting paid at all. Like, you're just getting the salary and that's it, which is not even close to 10K a month probably. So you need to weigh up what's more important. Do you want to make 50, 100, 200K profit after tax in 5 or 10 years? Or do you want to make 10K profit a month in the next 3 to 12 months? What's the point here? What's your goal? Both is totally fine, but this is just something you need to always consider. You need to be thinking, all right? This is part of the process of stopping and thinking. You need to take a couple, go and pretend you're sick at your actual job, take a couple of days and just think about your situation. What do you want? Which things are actually important for you? Is it money? Is it your happiness? Do you just want to build skills? What is the point here of why you want to make 10K, first of all? And then also, how do you want to get there? Is it this? Is it through a job? Is it through a business? What is it? Okay. Now, the next thing, and I have no idea how to draw this, but let's just do this. How many people do you help with your job? And this is something which, again, most people in this whole entrepreneur space just forget about. But if you're working somewhere where, let's say, there's people who are homeless and you're working in a homeless shelter, maybe it's actually super energy draining and it's not the most fun, but it's fulfilling because you can see how much you're helping those people. Okay. So this for me would also be a criteria. This can be debated what's more important. And it's also always a personal thing. Do you want to be fulfilled, or do you want to have more fun, or is fun going to fulfill you? Who knows? Right. So these are just the components of a job which make a job good or bad. I think, one more I forgot, which is, I don't know, maybe let's just draw a globe here. Basically, are you location independent? Yes or no? This is going to be a game changer. Can you remote work from your job or not? Because this is something where a lot of jobs are not controlling it. Okay, a lot of jobs, if you work from home, you can get away with being a shitty worker, but still get paid. This is just reality. Okay, you get paid, you work on your business, and you do the minimal amount of effort to just stay in the job and not get fired. Maybe work instead of 8 hours a day, 5 hours a day, and basically you get the job done, everything is fine, and that's it. Okay, this is also something which in remote jobs, a lot of the time, you have task-based to-dos. And this is also something, by the way, if you're working for me, I don't care how many hours you work in specific roles. I just want the KPIs to be there. If you're going to be able to make a video for me, not in 10 hours, but in half an hour, and the quality is going to be exactly like that, I don't care. Go ahead, only work in a half an hour for me. I'm going to pay you the same, if not more, because you're doing it quick, right? So it doesn't matter. And most jobs, like most people who give jobs, understand that concept. They give you task-based to do. So if you already have a skill, and you're going to be able to work somewhere where you can utilize that skill to buy back time. You don't really necessarily learn an extra skill, but you buy back time. That's really valuable. And that's actually another criteria here, which is time. How much time does it take? Again, you think, yeah, but like a full-time job, if I want a full-time salary, I need to work full-time. No, this is not how it works. If you're good at specific things, you can have higher hourly rates, okay? If you're good at boxing, you're going to be able to do boxing coaching much more expensive. Like you're going to get paid much better than if you're doing something where you have no clue about anything, right? And then you also have more fun. You maybe will make more money per hour. I don't know how it's going to be in total if you don't work too much, but you're going to make the same amount of money. You're going to be happy. You don't really learn a skill. Fulfillment is probably there. Like it's genuine, like it's super fun to train kids, do boxing. It's like, it's a cool experience, I think. This is probably not there. Like you're going to be able to do boxing classes in different countries, but this is something which is very tedious. If you already build, like if you have, like you're working in a boxing club, that's basically it. Okay, so this is not going to be there. And then you can weigh up if that is good for you or bad. Ideally, you want to be here only. You want to have everything checked off. But that's not realistic always, but it's fine, right? So this is, by the way, like this is step one of how to make money. Have a good life. This stuff is going to make so much headspace for you. And I understand how, like, even me, I keep pushing this narrative of you need to do money-making activities only, just push through, all right? That's true, but there's a lever behind, like, there's a level behind that, which is a setup. You need to work on a setup always. And this is something which I learned the hard way. And I keep telling like similar stories about the setup stuff, but it's just so important, okay? If you have a setup where all of these things are in place, you make money, you have happiness, you get a skill, you help people, you have travel you have location independence, and you don't have to work too much, guess how easy it's going to be to build a business. Already made the money, you already have the time, you have the headspace, you have the skill for building the business. This doesn't really matter for the business, but you're generally more happy and you're going to enjoy the process more. That's a good setup to build a business. Imagine you're slaving away for minimum wage. It's the most annoying thing. You don't build a skill, you don't have to help anybody, you cannot travel, and it takes up, you have to do over hours. That's a terrible setup to get started with, okay? So try to think how you can apply this to your life. And this part is not even the most important. Like you, by the way, you need to save up some money to start a business. Okay. I would recommend getting anywhere between like 3 to 5K, just having it in your bank account, just to be able to comfortably invest into different things. Okay. That's something you need to get started with a business. It doesn't have to be like 50K. And if you don't want to start like a restaurant or some shit, but for an online business, 3 to 5K is usually enough. Okay. So this part is not that important compared to all of this. Once you have the money, you made the 5K, you have that in your bank account, everything here gets more important. All right. You don't need to live a crazy lavish lifestyle because you have a good job. You just need to save up some money, and all of this is going to carry the rest, especially this part. This is probably the most important for starting a business. All right. You can have a shit job and everything is not in place except for decent money and decent time, where you basically just have to work 3-4 hours a day and still you get paid well. And that's it. Okay. And you need to try and search for that job. How much time have you put in to finding that? Most likely almost zero. And it's not difficult. If you personally right now cold call 20 places, 20 companies in your city. I don't know if it's a bar, a restaurant, a tech company, whatever. Just call up 20 places. Hey, my name is Michael Bernstein. I'm willing to learn and I want to work for you guys. That's it. Nothing crazy. Just ask them, not even that. Just ask them, hey, do you guys search for new employees? If it's a good business, every good business searches for new employees. So they say yes. Okay, cool. Can I talk to the manager? Yeah. And then you're basically in. All right. I literally did that. I did that just to see if that actually is possible. And it is. Okay. One layer above that is instead of cold calling, you just go to the place and basically you just already have like a CV or a resume or whatever. And that's it. Okay. So I hope this is something which is going to help you just evaluate what the fuck you're doing with your life. Because I'm so sure that half of you guys are just going to be here, 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 and here. This is the reality. This is most of you. And maybe some of you guys are going to have one tick here, this one, or maybe this one, or maybe this one, but that's it. All right. That's not going to be enough. So that's step one. Step one is covered. Let's go to the next thing. All right, so the next step is going to be picking a business model. And here, I'm not going to just tell you what to pick. I'm just going to, again, explain to you the process of how to pick a good business, okay? Now, if you already decided and you know exactly what to do, I'm going to put a timestamp and you're going to be able to skip. But this is for everybody who's not 100% sure what's the best and how to get started. Again, we're going to have our little spreadsheet here. And basically, we need to be thinking of a bunch of different things as usual, okay? So this is a theme. We need to have criteria on why we start what we start, okay? Number one, as before, how much capital do you need to get started? So as an example, if you are going to start a restaurant, you have to have like 50 to 100K to be able to get started with that, probably even more. But if you, for example, start an SMMA business, you don't really need any starting capital, all right? So let's start with that, SMMA. SMMA is a good business model in terms of the capital, okay? Let's talk about the second criteria, and it is profit margins. All right, so let's just do this, profit margins. How are the profit margins with SMMA? Well, you're selling a high ticket service for a few thousand euros or dollars, and you basically target like business owners, right? So the profit margins are going to be pretty good. You're not going to have any employee costs. You're not going to have any big, huge costs, except for some softwares in the beginning. The lead generation method is just cold calling, no real big ad spend. This is great. This is actually I fucked up over here. I need to put this above. Can you see this on the camera? No. All right. Let me restructure this over here. We're gonna start here with dollars, and then here with margins, and then SMMA stays here. There we go. Okay, so this is great. Amazing. Margins, great. So far, so good. We have a business model which fits two criteria, okay? You're watching a video where we're talking about how to make your first 10K a month in profit. Well, this means you're a beginner, and this is going to be the next criteria, which is it beginner friendly, okay? And the answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. SMMA is a complete scam if you're a beginner. Just think about it. You want to call dentists to help them with Facebook ads without ever being able to run a Facebook ad yourself. You have no idea what you're doing in terms of Facebook, and you're going to be able to learn on your first clients, and people tell you it's all right, it's cool, because maybe if it doesn't work, you can refund them and stuff like that. I bet 95% of all these SMA guys are not refunding anybody, and most likely you're also not gonna, because that's the first money you make and you've worked for it, whatever. I don't think most people are refunding. And then the second thing is you're basically gonna be trying on other people's money. Okay, so other people, even if you refund them, they still ran the Facebook ad and it didn't work. So they spent a bunch of money and they didn't make anything. And then you refund them the fee they paid you, but you're definitely not going to refund them the Facebook ads, right? So this is not beginner friendly. If you have a really good skill, it's not bad. If you are really good at something, which you can sell to businesses, very valid, all right? This is a very valid business model. It's a great one. However, that's one part. And the second part is why it's not beginner friendly is cold calling. Cold calling is a pain in the ass. It's genuinely super annoying and it's very difficult. I did like cold sales. I was basically living in Barcelona, had to talk to people on the beach every single day, 8 hours a day, selling them like all you can drink tickets to like some shitty bar. And basically it was difficult. All right. Going up to a group of people where there's like 3 guys and 5 girls and you feel awkward and you have to convince them as the third promoter in the last hour to buy some shit, which you don't even really believe in. It's difficult. All right. It took a while until I got good, and I did get good, but I noticed how many people went out. Like the promoter group was either people who already did it for years, or new people just going in for a few weeks and just going back to their own city and not doing it anymore forever. Okay, so I saw this all the time where like cold sales is a really tough business model. And you're going to have to master that here for sure. And it's only one part of it. Like this is, as a promoter, you just have to talk to the people and basically sell them some all you can drink thing. Here, this is just half of it. The other half is fulfillment. So how are you basically going to fulfill your clients? And this is going to be a huge other thing. So you start doing the Facebook ads for your dentist, and all of a sudden, there's no time left. Like you don't really have any time to do the cold calls because you spend all your time learning about the Facebook ads. And this is something which also falls into the category of beginner friendly. And it's how easy is it to quit? There are business models which are really easy to quit, and there are other ones which are really difficult to quit. So, for example, Facebook ads dropshipping is really easy to quit. And it's also not beginner friendly because you test a product, it doesn't work. You test another product, it doesn't work. Test another product, your Facebook account gets shut down. You don't know how to get a new one. You get a new one after weeks of trying. It gets shut down again. You try again and it gets shut down again. And then you understand, all right, my IP is blocked. What can I do? And then you understand, all right, I need to solve all of this bullshit, not to have a win, just to get to 0 again. All right. I am able to start my Facebook ads again after solving this huge pain in the ass, like huge issue, which is blocks. Okay. If you didn't get lucky in your first couple of products are a winner, it's so difficult. All right. So this is something which also falls into the category of not really beginner friendly. And I'm going to get to that later. But the next criteria is the fulfillment. All right. I'm just going to put in some boxes here. For SMA, it doesn't make sense, but you get the point. Fulfillment here, again, it sucks. Super, super difficult. Okay. Now, let's take a look at Facebook dropshipping. Facebook dropshipping is, first of all, like an amazing business model overall. And I got started with it. It was easier earlier, and it got more difficult over time. And I have to say that at this point, I would probably not recommend it to beginners. I already explained one of the reasons, but you need to have a pretty good investment. You definitely, for example, comparing to SMA, you have to have thousands and thousands of dollars, and you need to be willing to lose money and keep going. Again, how easy is it to quit? That's a really important criteria. And you might be thinking, I'm never gonna quit. I'm this Rambo guy. I'm cooler than everybody else. I will not quit no matter what. All right. Well, reality is statistics say different. And if I talk to you, because you're the guy watching and you're part of the statistic, you're most likely gonna quit if you have a difficult business model, which is gonna make it easy for you to quit. Because quitting is not always bad. If you have a shit business model and you quit and move on to a good business model, that's not the worst, right? So there's micro quitting and there's big quitting. So a big quit would be just searching for a job. A smaller quit would be, all right, this didn't work. Let me move on to the next thing. A big mistake also to just jump business models. And that's why this is so important. Picking the best one is more important than anything else. And this is like one of the favorite quotes of Hermosi of mine. Basically, it doesn't matter how hard you row. Sometimes it's more important in which boat you sit. And this cannot be more true with picking a business model. You can be the best entrepreneur ever with a shit business model. Most likely you're going to fail. And also, I have a story about this. Again, during the time when I was doing all the like party promoter stuff, I was in different cities. Okay. So the first city I was in Spain and Mallorca. And it was a really small town, not too many tourists, but we had to sell to tourists only because it was like this all you can drink thing, which is basically tourists only. And the money the average promoter made was like $15 a day. 15. All right. It was borderline impossible to sell anybody because there was nobody there. And the guy who owned the club was also super depressed, and he knew all the other cities' party promoters, and he knew how good it was over there. But anyways, he basically was there in a really bad boat. And I didn't know if it's bad or good, or I thought this is just how it is. But I didn't do it for money. I did it for the skills. I just wanted to be able to just go up to somebody and actually talk to them like a regular human being, not be weird, and sell them something. All right, that was something, and also hook up with a bunch of girls, by the way. So that was, let's be honest, that was my main priority. Okay, so basically that was that was why I was there, and I didn't really care about the $15 I made because I already had a profitable dropshipping store by that time. I was a degenerate. I did party promoting for 8 hours a day while I had a really good store running. All right. I was making way more than 10K profit per month. Lost everything because I was dumb about it and I was doing a bunch of dumb stuff. But anyways, I switched from Mallorca to Barcelona. And in Barcelona, a really interesting thing happened. The average promoter was making around $70 to $80 a day, which is already like fine. But I was able to make like hundreds of dollars every single day because it was just, the beaches were filled. All right, filled. It was so many tourists were there. And I was like, oh, wait, it's easier. I was playing on hard mode because there were not enough people. I couldn't go up to anybody. All right. So that was something where this was just something which really like penetrated my brain because I understood, all right, this is something where it's so much more important than how good I am at sales, how I approach the people. It didn't matter. There was nobody there. Okay. So why am I saying all of this? I forget. But basically, picking the business models. This part, again, this is the most important part in your entire entrepreneurial journey, because after you picked, you have to stick to it. And this is a really important rule. You picked a business model. Wait, somebody's calling me again. You picked a business model. If you stop, you have officially quit, and you start from zero again. If you did dropship, if you did SMMA, and then you say, SMMA is a scam, let's do dropshipping, you start from zero at dropshipping, which is a waste of time. That's all it is. It's a waste of time. Okay. So, margins suck. Margins are best case 20 to 30%. In a lot of the cases, it's less, but it is what it is. The margins are not good. Okay. Again, compared to SMMA, where you have like 80, 90% margins, and in a lot of the cases in the beginning, later you have employees and Facebook costs and whatever, you're still going to end up like at bare minimum 40% margins here. Okay. So much better. What else do we have? Okay. So beginner friendly. Again, I already explained why it's not beginner friendly. Fulfillment is pretty easy. Like you just fulfill the orders, nothing crazy, just dropshipping. Dropshipping fulfillment is fine. As long as you pick a decent product, it's not going to be the most difficult thing to do this. And I wouldn't say that this is going to be too much of an issue. Okay. Next is Amazon FBA. Can you see this? Am I blocking? It's fine. So, Amazon FBA, the investment is high. All right. Again, you just have to buy inventory. You have to spend like thousands and thousands of dollars on one product where you don't even know if it's actually going to work out. And you have the inventory. You need to have like some minimum order quantity, and that's a big issue. Okay. So this makes this bad. Margins, I'm not 1,000% sure. I talked to a few Amazon FBA guys. From what I understood, margins suck. Okay, you can make $1 million with literally like 5% margins because there's so many different things going on in terms of fees and product costs and Amazon costs that it's not the best. So maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe I just talked to the wrong people. But as far as I know, you're not going to be able to make higher margins than like 40, like 50% is basically unheard of. That's what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong again. Beginner friendliness, again, you have to spend thousands of dollars on one single product and maybe it's not going to work. Very difficult business model. Okay. So I wouldn't recommend it, just for beginners specifically. On top of that, scaling potential is also not the best. And we should be talking about scaling potential as well, but I'm going to leave it out because this video is only going to be about how to get to your first 10K. By the way, making your first 10K a month without being able to scale further is also a big issue. Okay. This is something which I would also consider again in another video. Maybe we should add that later on. Picking the job, also scaling potential is something which is important. Like if your cap is 15K, you're never ever going to make more. That's the cap of this industry. You're not going to be able to make more. Okay. So that's something to always consider. Scalability with dropshipping, Facebook dropshipping is huge, immense, like ridiculous. If you figure it out, if that part is gone, so you're not a beginner anymore, you crushed it, you figured out some system, you can scale ridiculously high. Okay. SMMA is a little bit more difficult to scale. As far as I know, there's not too many people making like multiple six figures a month with an SMMA business. Because you just need to have like either cold call volume or so many more employees. With Facebook ads, you literally just spend more money and test more creatives and that's it. Okay. There's no crazy hack or strategy. You just spend more. If you will manage to get around the payment provider blocks and the PayPal issues and stuff like that, you're going to crush. Amazon FBA, I think it's the same. If you have a good product and it's basically like a top listed product on Amazon, it keeps working. Okay. So the scaling potential is high. Again, we don't put it onto the criteria because we don't care about it to make the first 10K, but you get my point. Beginner friendly, it is not. It is 100% not beginner friendly because of the amount of money you can lose. This is a very important indicator of if something is beginner friendly or not. How easy is it to lose money? Same thing with how easy is it to quit. One product you tried, you spent already 5K, it didn't work. What do you do now? Do you spend another 5K to test the next product, which might also not work? Difficult. Easy to quit. It makes it very easy to quit. So just something to think about. Amazon fulfillment, amazing. Super simple. One issue here is that the data is not yours. So the customers are literally not yours at all. You basically don't have your own. You don't have your own. Like this is the. What the fuck am I saying? You don't have your own customer base. The customers are not yours. You don't have their emails. You don't know who bought from you. You just know sales. That's it. They bought from Amazon, not you. So you cannot retarget them, and you don't have the data, which is a really big issue. Okay, this is something which is so much better here. By the way, let me drink some water, and then I'm gonna get back to you. And I forgot to mention, Facebook and TikTok I would put into one category. Okay, so like let's actually call this a little bit different. Let's call this paid ads dropshipping. Paid ads dropshipping. Okay. Both of those are going to have the same kind of issues. I have to say, blogs are so much simpler on TikTok, but there's a lot of chaos going on. There's a lot of chaos. All right. Next is, can you still see? Let's figure it out. A coaching business. Actually, we're gonna have to make this a little bit smaller, just so we can still see the rest. But basically, a coaching business. Okay. So, coaching businesses. If you are a beginner, just please don't do it. All right. The only good thing about this is it has amazing margins. You have to have a shit ton of investment in terms of running ads and doing a bunch of it's a mess. All right. There's so many things you need to do to run a new coaching business. And I know a lot of people just say, all right, if you have like some sort of skill, if you can play the guitar, that's already enough. Become good at stuff before you teach anything. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to teach anything where you're not. If you don't have a really good skill, which makes it beginner unfriendly, you shouldn't be running it. Okay, you just shouldn't. Fulfillment is virtually impossible for a beginner because you have no clue what you're doing. Again, so yeah, I think those are the big ones. Maybe we have affiliate marketing. I don't know too much about it, so I'm not going to put it on the list. And let's get to organic dropshipping. All right, this channel is obviously about organic dropshipping. So let's see how organic dropshipping actually performs in comparison to these. Actually, maybe can I go on this side? I think this works. Okay, so organic dropshipping. Investment, zero. No investment needed, right? You don't really need investments because there's no paid ads. That's it. Basically, you can run it right away. Number 2, margins. Amazing. Again, the best thing ever. Like the margins about dropshipping in organic dropshipping are just ridiculous. It's the very first time in dropshipping history where you can have margins on a consistent basis over 50% without being like an insane maniac who's knowing Facebook ads better than everybody else in the world. And that's it. Like you can just be a regular organic dropshipper, find a product which has 50% margins, and then you go viral, and that's it. Okay. This is amazing. And you can get up to like 80% margins. Sometimes if it's digital products, and we saw that with like a few people, you can literally have 100% margins where you sell some sort of digital product which just goes viral, and basically that's it. Okay. That's for another topic, but this is ridiculous. This is so good. Beginner friendly, obviously, yes, because it's really simple if you know what you're doing. If you go with the right strategy to get there, because there's only one issue. There's only one issue with organic. I'm going to get to that in a second. Actually, let's talk about that now. The only real issue with organic is it's very time consuming. Okay. No money needed. No issues with anything else. The only real problem is time. So coming back to the thing with a job, you need to structure your job around that. You need to keep in mind you need a job which is going to be which is going to allow you to spend way more time on organic. So organic, the time is the actual only Downside, it's very time consuming. You make, it's a very direct correlation. You spend time and you make money from that. Okay, later on you can outsource and get creators and stuff like that. But very first of all, time. You need time. You have to make yourself time. And I would still consider it beginner friendly, because if you understand that this is the way to go, it's pretty simple to not quit. Like, you post hundreds of videos, but you didn't lose a single dollar. Maybe you lost the product cost, but that's it. Like, because you have to order the product and then basically like, film it. But like, there's no real money loss which you had. And it feels psychologically so much better, because you think your time isn't worth anything, but you think your money is worth a lot, because you're right. Like, your time isn't worth anything because you're not making any money, right? So your hourly wage is super low, and you don't even see your time as something where you have hourly wage, because most likely you're just spending half your day on bullshit and the other half on feeling productive but not really being productive. Your time is literally worth nothing. So it's fine. In my opinion, it's okay to lose like a couple of months of your time just posting and not seeing any success, to later on get the rewards. Okay? So this is good. Next is fulfillment. As with Facebook ads or paid dropshipping, it's basically the same. I would even say it's a little bit easier here, because with paid, you're going to have more orders, obviously, on scale, and you need more orders for the same amount of profit. So, for example, you want to make 10K profit a month. That was the title of the video. That was the point. Here, in a regular scenario, sometimes more, sometimes less, you need to make anywhere between like 16 to 20K in sales. Okay, let's just be conservative. Let's say 20K in sales. Here, you need to make 50K in sales, which means that you have to have more than double of the orders. Number one, more payment provider issues. The more orders, the more problems. The number two, fulfillment, more customers, more unhappy customers, more customer support, more shipping issues, more scale means more of everything. More sales is more problems, always. Okay. So the art, and this is why margins are so important, the art of making profit is making not a crazy amount of sales, but for that amount of sales, a crazy amount of profit. And this is where you're going to understand how powerful high margins are. Low margins means so many issues in so many different fronts where you have to make everything perfect to be able to even survive. And I noticed this, for example, in my program, like the people who are in the Facebook side of things, they're really good at average order value. I'm also like, I'm probably, from everybody in the program, me and my brother, we're on top in terms of average order value knowledge. Okay, so how to optimize everything in terms of like making more money out of one customer. Here, it's very interesting that all the organic guys suck. All the organic guys have no idea what they're doing with that, because they don't need to. They feel like they don't need to. In reality, they do need to. And if they have 50% margins or 70% margins after optimizing everything, that's a big fucking deal. But you understand what I'm saying here. Like you understand that it's just super, super simple to disregard it here. Okay. And this is by itself, it shows how much superior this business model is to anything else. Okay. So fulfillment is easy. Time is the only actual problem. And that's it. That's basically it. Let's go to the next point. And this is going to be, after you understand what you're going to do, the most important. Okay, so this was my personal, and by the way, biased opinion on which business model is the best. I genuinely believe this, but I understand that, like, I want to promote organic dropshipping. You might be thinking, all right, maybe he's just saying it because he's promoting it. So I understand this. Like, if you're a skeptic about that, and I don't mind you doing more research. And if you find something better, please go ahead. So I don't want to influence you in this direction. I just genuinely, I personally believe that this is the best way for a beginner to make their first 10K profit a month. Okay. So what's next? You pick the strategy. What do you do now? Well, within the strategy, there's going to be a bunch of different strategies. All right. And you need to be picking one person you listen to and stick to it. Okay. So you can listen to me, but you can also, and again, I don't want to discourage you and I don't want you to think I'm going to shit talk anybody else. Jordan Brown just put in like this huge 18-hour video course. It's amazing. It's a really good course. I don't want to even shit talk it. It's great. Listen to the guy, but only listen to him. Listen to me and then only listen to me. Okay? Pick one person and that's it. You shouldn't be mixing strategies because if you have me, and then I'm not going to put any names here. Let's just say dropshipping guy 2. We both have the sauce to get to 10K profit per month. Okay? I'm sure there are a bunch of people who also are going to be able to teach you to get to 10K profit per month. There are people like that. Most of the industry sucks, but there are good people. Okay? So the problem starts when you listen to me and then you switch and then you get to listen to the second guy and then you listen to me again and then you will land at fucking zero. All right. You're not going to make any extra money if you listen to multiple people. I want to make sure you understand this, that in business, you pick one thing and that's it. Now, again, like, I don't want to sound too salesy, but this is genuinely what I believe. You can listen to me on videos like this, or you can buy my program where you have direct access to me and the team. And it's the most easy thing to make it work with that. Okay. This is probably the best way to spend money when you're doing organic. It's just knowledge. Like you learn from people who did it already. You're going to understand how to do it quicker. You're going to have people looking over your products, good or bad. Videos, good or bad. Product page, good or bad. Average order value, good or bad. Okay, account health, shadow bans, everything, So everything is just going to be looked over and we're going to make sure if you're going in the right direction or not. And also, it's going to be so much simpler for you to have like clarity. I was like, literally yesterday, I was on a call, like a 1.5 hour call with Ty Lopez, like a one-on-one call with him. It was pretty expensive. And he told me things which I kind of knew, but I didn't do. And it was super valuable to have that call because now I'm going to do that. I have the clarity that that's the right path. All right. I don't know how to make 10 million a month. He knows. I have no clue. So I'm going to listen to him and basically follow what he's going to tell me. And here, the like half of the thing I paid for is certainty. I have 10 different paths which I can go. I'm going to go this one. Why? Because Ty said so. That's it. Like I don't want to even make decisions of things which I have never done before. Okay. Like for me, I never scaled over 350K in profits per month. More than that, maybe a little bit more, but let's say never more than 450. Okay. So never ever I have made more money, like more profit in one single month than that. So I don't know how to make more. I don't know how to get to 1 million in profit a month. I don't know how to get 10. So I'm going to just listen to people. And I want to spend my money on that because I understand that's the only thing I can buy, which is going to give me the highest return on investment. I understand I could literally buy property for the amount of money I paid him for the calls. But I think it's not going to give me, like, I think he's going to give me more returns. So this is just something to think about, where you basically should understand that everything you do, you're always going to be doubting yourself. Is my video actually good? Or is it the video which sucks? Is it the product which sucks? Is it the account? Maybe my shadow band? What's the issue? And you're going to have the clarity, or we're going to just tell you, all right, that's it. Your issue, the real issue here is not the store, not the account, but the product, or the product is amazing, your videos suck. You actually are shadow banned. Your account, start a new account. So these are the things where it's just going to save you more time. Okay, this is something where we need to just consider the shortcuts, but also again, the most important part is this: like, just listen to one person, whoever, listen to somebody, and do what the fuck they say. This is something which is really important. You don't know how to get there. If you would know how to get to 10K profit a month, you would be there. So let's not fool ourselves and pretend like you're a smart marketer and know everything. You don't. Okay? If you would know, you would be there. That's the only way I trust anybody to basically what they say. Did you actually make 10K? No. Why would I listen to you about making 10K? What the fuck are you even talking about? This is just theory. This is concept which you read in a book. That doesn't count. So don't get overconfident with that, and try to understand that your personal opinion does not matter. This is a very important lesson. You like a product, I don't care. You like this video, I don't care. You like this, you like that, I don't care. It's bad. Everybody in the program, literally everybody, who posts their 10th video with organic, they look at it and they think it's amazing. Why? Well, because they did it exactly that way. If they thought it sucks, would have changed up something else, right? So they think their video is amazing. They show it to us, we shit all over them, we tell them how bad it is, and they're like, oh, I didn't even see this. You're always gonna think the thing you're doing is the best. This video, like right now I'm filming this video, I think it's amazing. I genuinely believe this video is really, really good. However, who knows? Maybe in a year, I'm sure in a year, in 2 years, I'm going to look at this and you're going to be like, what, bro, how the fuck were you able to fuck this up so much? Right? So you just need to understand that and not have an ego about you sucking. Like you suck, and it's okay. And you're going to keep sucking for a long fucking time. Okay? Your time horizon needs to be longer. You shouldn't be expecting to make a shit ton of money in the first couple of months. And this is reality. To make 10K a month is much easier than to make 120K a month a year. 120K a year. Because 10K 12 times 12 is 120. 10K consistently profit per month is much more difficult to make it to do than one time. So keep in mind, you shouldn't be expecting super high results in the first couple of months, and compare it to regular life. Compare going to university for like 3-4 years, going to a job. Who makes 10K profit like after tax in a regular job? Like in the first 5 years, virtually no one. Some high-paying jobs like investment banking, whatever, you might make that much, but it's not common at all. Okay, so compare to that and understand over the next years, your goal is to start making 120K a year in profit after taxes. By the way, after taxes is a really interesting thing. 120, like in Germany, it means that I have to make 240. So all of a sudden, I already have to make 20K profit. Okay, it depends on the country you live in, but this is what it is, and you're gonna see how after making your first 120K a year or 240, you're pretty close. You're pretty close to making 500K a year, $1 million a year, multiple 7 figures a year. It's that jump, like getting from 0 to consistent 10K profit per month is the most difficult. After you achieve that, it's going to grow exponential. Okay. The beginning is the difficult stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. We have a bunch of people who started right away and they just crushed it. Okay. And this is also what we say in the program. if you post 300 videos on average, sometimes it takes 500 videos, but on average, if you have posted 300 videos and we gave you revisions, you're going to usually succeed. That's the normal outcome. Okay. 300 videos, you decide how long it takes. If you're going to be super, super fast about it, it's going to be fast. If you're going to post 10 videos a day, it's going to be pretty fast as long as the quality stays up. But I'm saying this, and this is reality, but the expectation should be, I want to make a lot of money over the next years, not over the next couple of months. Even though it's very, very possible, with organic especially, to make your first 10K profit per month, literally within 1 to 2 months, pretty simple. It's not that crazy to do that, okay? Like, if you look at the case studies we have on the channel, there's tons of people who did that, but you shouldn't be expecting it. You shouldn't be expecting it. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, it's just part of the process. Everything's still fine. All good, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk about is probabilities. And this is big. Because what I just said here was 300 videos. Not because whatever. It's just because 300 videos makes it probable that you're going to succeed. Okay? Let's say you test your very first product. This is a dice. All right? You can hit a 3, which is, let's say, not a winner. Let's say only a 6 on the dice is a winner. To hit a 3 or to hit a 6 is exactly 1/6. Okay? So how much is that? Like, I don't know. It's like 15%. 15% chance to hit a 6. To hit a 3 or hit a 6. This is something really interesting which people don't understand. Hitting the lottery, if it's 1 out of 49 million, it doesn't matter if it's the numbers 13, 29, 2, 3, and 15, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hitting the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is exactly as likely as hitting every other number. But it feels like, why the fuck would I pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Because you understand how improbable that is. That's why you don't want to pick it. In reality, that is exactly the same chance of winning than every other number. Okay? So, finding a winner as your first product in organic is not the same chances. But on Facebook, for example, it actually, in some cases is. If you have a decent strategy, it is. Okay? And in the beginning, this is way more, not 1/6, but it's way less. But let's say as a beginner, 1/6. You can also, again, get lucky and hit the 6. So officially you won right away. First product you test, boom, winner. Happens. Okay? Second product you test is not 1/6 anymore. It's double the chances. Not only because you did 2, but also because your skill improved. Okay? Usually, if you throw dice twice, it's 1/6 and then 1/6 again. But here, all of a sudden, the second product you test is way more likely to go viral and make you money because of the skill. You have a little bit more skill. Okay? So here, let's say you get unlucky again. You have a 4. So cool. Then you do it again. And then it's, again, a little bit more likely for you to hit the 6 because you took your learnings from here. Okay? This is never going to be 6 from 6. Like, you're never going to have 100% chance of winning. Okay? Here, it's going to start to slow down. So, for example, here, you got unlucky again. Not a 6, not a winner. 1. What do I mean with it's not a winner? I mean that you didn't go viral. You can post really good content on one account with a perfect product and not go viral and not make any money. That's possible. So what's the answer to that? Well, multiple accounts, multiple products, just more. Okay? And the more you do, the higher the chances are going to be to hit, like, not 6 out of 6, but like 4 or 5 out of 6. Okay? So you're going to be able to get, like, later on, it's going to be 3.2 and then 3.5, and then at some point you're going to be at 4 out of 6 products. Okay, so this is really good. Like hitting. What does this mean? This means it's like an 80% chance or so for you to have success. This is really, really, really high. Okay. Here you can get unlucky though again, and if you quit, all of that was just useless. However, if you just keep going here long enough, you're gonna succeed. And this is a concept which you need to understand. Probabilities are real. Okay, that's the only real thing in business, which is like where you have to understand the math behind it. The more you do, the more likely you're gonna succeed. It's very, very simple, but a lot of people overcomplicate it and they think they're gonna succeed from try one. It's not gonna happen. That's why also, if you're doing anything organic, I never preach, I never say you should do a store before going viral. Because with your first product, this in reality is more like I don't know, 1 out of 20, maybe even more. It depends on how good your videos in the beginning are, how good your skill level just like naturally is. Maybe it's going to be 1 out of 200. So it's not worth your time to create the store. Keep in mind, the opposite of 1 out of 20 is 19 out of 20. So 19 out of 20 chance, and this is like really odd numbers, so let's just say 95%. There's a 95% chance that you're not going to succeed. Okay? There's a 5% chance that you're going to succeed. Why the fuck would you bet on this? Making a store is betting on this. Your skill is not there. Don't make a store. This is way more likely to happen. And this is how you should behave. Okay? This is how you should behave. Again, keep this in mind. What is more likely? That's what I should do. This is more likely? I should do this. Now, if you test 20 products, what's more likely? To succeed or to win? It's winning, obviously. Okay? So here you should be acting accordingly. If you know, I'm gonna test 20 products, you should be acting that way. Okay? So this is how you should make all of your decisions on. And in the beginning, you're going to feel invincible because you're starting, and then everything is going to crash on you. You're going to have so much frustration. It's ridiculous. To make your first 10K a month, it is so frustrating. Like, it's so annoying. There's so many little bullshit issues which are going to be thrown your way, which you have to overcome. But if you do, you're rich. And this is what you're getting paid for. That's a concept which I want you to understand as well. Concept is this. It's basically the population of the world. All right. Let's say this is everybody. This is how much? 9 billion people, whatever. How many of those are going to start doing dropshipping? Well, probably way, way less. Let's say, I don't know, 500,000 people. Let's say 1 million. 1 million people start dropshipping. That's where they start. Okay? So they start doing it. And the question is, how far do they get? Well, let's say they're doing organic. Okay? How many are going to post their very first video? If we just zoom in here and we're going to make this the whole, like all the million, like all these people, basically most people will already quit before they started to do the first video. Okay. They just watched a bunch of YouTube videos. They made their store, but never ever got it started. And then there's a drop. So here, actually, this drawing sucks. Let me think about how to visualize this better. So here we have the start. All right, this is where people start. Most of the people. So let's say I would just honestly say 80% of the people who started dropshipping never even started. They didn't post their first video. They didn't even test their first product. Nothing. They just watch videos, maybe buy the $1 Shopify thing, and that's it. Nothing else. Okay. 80% are cut off. Literally here. Done nothing. Just watched a few videos. That's watching a few videos. That's it. Okay. So 80% gone. We have only 20% left. Here, we basically have 20% of people, the survivors. All right. Out of those 20%, how many posted 10 videos and kept going with that one strategy? Well, if they already posted one video, maybe just pulling these numbers out of my ass, literally, maybe 50% are gonna post 10 videos. Okay, so 50. This leaves us, and this is how you should be calculating. 20%, 50% of that. We have 10% of the starting who posted 10 videos. How many posted 100? Not many. Fucking not many. A very, very, very little amount of people. Okay, so posting 100. So here we have 100. Here we have 10. Here we have one video. Here, that's probably out of those 10%, like out of those, we have another 10%. Okay? So 10% out of 10% is 1%. So we have 1% of people left who posted 100 videos. These statistics are completely invented. I have no idea why I just picked these numbers, but I'm sure this is roundabout right. Okay? And you are most likely going to be here. And then second most likely, you're going to be here. And third most likely, you're going to be here. Most of you guys are going to be stuck here. Most of you guys suck. Okay? Some of you are going to be here. And then a lot of you are still going to be stuck somewhere here and not make it. Okay? This is actually not the fucking 9 billion thing. This is making 10K profit. This is making 10K profit. Okay? So, there is a cutting point though. After you posted 100 videos, you're very likely to keep going because of two reasons. Number one, you committed. And this is something which is a really interesting concept for life. You guys are living in the US, most likely. You guys have these weird frat rituals where you basically do the whole hazing thing, and every person who has to go into a frat, they get hazed, and then they basically are in the frat if they complete the challenge, whatever. I don't really understand the concept, but that's what I understand. Okay, so you do that, and there was an actual real statistic, which I'm not pulling out of my ass, is that if you actually, the stronger the hazing was, the more loyal you are to the frat. That's a very interesting thing. Why? Why are you more loyal? Because you committed. You did more to be in. The same thing gangs do. If you look at gangs, they all have traditions where everybody beats the shit out of the new gang members just to be in, or they have to do something to get in. Really high commitment. Okay? I think, again, maybe I'm wrong, but I would assume that same concept applies for why pregnancies are so painful. It makes sense, right? The more painful the pregnancy is, like the mother has to carry the baby around for 9 months and then go through the most excruciating pain ever, you're committed more to stay with that baby. You've already put in so much of your work into that baby that you're going to be more committed and you're going to probably love the baby more. And the same thing as with relationships. Usually the person who puts in more into the relationship buys the person more gifts, they're more committed into the relationship, they're going to love the person more than the person who puts less into the relationship. Okay, so this can be applied as well in dropshipping. The more videos you post, the more likely you're going to stick with it. The more problems you solved, this is the biggest cutoff, just starting. After you started, it's much more likely that you're going to keep going. Okay? It's just getting the ball rolling. It's a very, just think about getting a ball rolling. You were not able to, then it rolls, and then it's easy. That is exactly how it is in dropshipping. However, every time, I want you to actively think about this. Every single time when you face a problem, you're going to tell yourself, this makes sense. That is why not everybody is doing dropshipping. Because you look at all these organic dropshipping videos, and the first question you have in your head is like, actually in the beginning, when you start doing dropshipping, the very first questions you have is, why is not everybody doing this? This seems so simple. You just make videos on TikTok and then you make money, 10K a month, more than a doctor. What the fuck? How is this even possible? This is so simple. You just post like couple hundred videos and that's it, right? Well, no. You're gonna understand along the journey. You're gonna feel these frustrating moments where you're gonna have the urge to quit, and most of you will quit, but some of you won't. And the people who don't, I want you to think about this. The moment you have the urge to quit, I want you to be happy about that, because that feeling is going to be the answer to your question, which you asked yourself in the beginning. Why is not everybody doing dropshipping? That's why. Oh, I have a PayPal lock. I cannot collect money. Oh, Stripe took all of my money. It's gone. Oh, that makes sense. I tested 10 products. They didn't work. Oh, well, yeah, I understand now. I posted 500 videos. Nothing worked. I get it. So this is the concept which you need. Like, this is how you should be thinking always. Okay. So when you're here, you're going to have so many problems along the way. Again, a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of shit is going to hit the fan. Everything is going to suck here. Okay. Along this journey. And then you're going to find a turning point where everything is going to start sucking less. Let's put it that way. It's going to start sucking less. Okay. Your life is going to be more chill and everything is going to feel much more better because you're going to feel more comfortable. You make your 10K, everything's good now. You start to make your 10K and that's the moment you crash. So this is what I see with everybody in the program. The first time you see a winner, you think, I'm on top of the world. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can either spend the money, and then you start chilling. And most people, they catch the issue on the wrong side. Like, whenever you're on a down phase, you're like, fuck, I need to get back to work. I don't have a winner. Let's do more product research. When you're up, do more product research. How about that? You're up. You're about to go down. You're just up now. This is temporary. This is not a constant. Okay? So your life is going to suck again very soon. Make sure it doesn't. You have momentum. You're almost there. And then everything drops up. So just because it's flashy, 10K a month, that's what you guys all want. In reality, you don't want that. You don't want to make 10K a month. You want to make 10K every month. Okay? This is what you want. At least 10K every month. And also, even if you make your little 10K, all right? Even if you make, once you're there, a really interesting thing happens. And this is what happened to me. I got greedy. Actually, I didn't even want to make 10K. I want, my initial goal, this was my target, all right? This was the thing I always was dreaming about. Make 3K a month, profit per month, after taxes, after everything, passive, and do whatever the fuck I want. That was exactly what I wanted to do. I was never motivated by making a lot of money. I hit the 3K after tax on a consistent basis. And it did nothing. I was like, all right, cool, but that's not enough. It's not enough at all. And I thought to myself, all right, I need 10K. This is where I basically drew the line. 10K after taxes, and then I'm gonna be happy, right? And I made the 10K. Was it nice? Yes, it was super nice. It was genuinely I felt on top of the world for a little bit. Lost all the money, and then I understood, damn, this is 10K is not that much. If you want to have a good life, it's not enough. Okay, so my jumps were not crazy. I wanted to make 20K. By the way, this is the moment where you can actually the 20K. The 20K is the moment where you can actually live really, really comfortably by yourself and kind of be a little bit balling. Okay, so if you just like if you just think about yourself, you don't have a family, maybe you don't have a girlfriend, you just want to live a good life. You want to travel, you want to have a nice watch, nice car, nice apartment, all these things. You can afford them now. Congrats. You can afford them, and you're going to be able to put some money aside still. Okay? But then what's going to happen is you're going to give your family your first gift. And you're going to spend like 10K on a gift to your family. And you're going to see the joy it's going to bring you. It's going to be more fulfilling than if you buy yourself something. You're going to feel, you're going to see the joy it's going to bring them. And you're going to be like, damn, I'm broke. I'm broke again. I'm back to zero. 20K is a new standard. Like I can live really good with 20K, but I personally, I noticed how egotistical all of my goals were after I started making that, because I was like, all right, I want to buy my family a bunch of stuff. I want to buy my friends a bunch of stuff. I have to pick. I cannot travel and buy them shit. I cannot do both. I cannot buy my mom a house. I cannot renovate the roof of my grandmother because there's like water lacking and it's like another 20K if I want to keep traveling. So this is something which you're going to notice later. And then you're going to have the 50K a month. This is like another life-changing point, where you're actually going to start feeling like you can do both. You can do both. You can buy your family and friends a lot of stuff. You're going to be able to travel. Don't look at prices at all, like zero whatsoever. Do actually what you want. This is where you're going to be truly rich. Okay? But there are levels above that. And the first time I hit 100K profit after taxes, after everything, literally after everything in one single month, I started thinking about other things as well. Because with 100K a month, I need to do that for a few years until I can retire my entire family. Okay? That's nothing I can do right away. It needs more money. It needs like multiple millions of dollars to buy them all houses, to retire everybody, that if they want to work, they can work. If they don't, they don't. It needs just more time. Okay? So it's enough, but if you do that for a long enough time period. And then after that, there's probably, let's do it this way. Here we have 100K a month, 100K profit after taxes. You're balling, right? You literally do what the fuck you want. And you start noticing, even your family, everybody's covered, everything's cool. There is a layer above that where you're Elon Musk and you change the planet, right? You change a city, you change a country, you change bigger things. And this is like where basically we would draw the circle, probably even way further, which is just, I think, maybe I'm thinking too small or whatever. I think you need to be having baby steps. And this is something which is, it feels so far out of my personal reach to be like a billionaire having multiple billion. This is something which I don't even want. I honestly made that decision to me that, again, maybe it's going to change. But right now, I don't really care about people I don't know. Like, I care about people I see with my own eyes. If there's somebody starving in a third world country, I don't care. I want to put my priority onto my family, my friends, my circles, my students, my people. I see you with my own eyes. That's what I want. I see a homeless person, I want to give him money. My cleaning lady, I want to give her money. Like I like so many people in my circle. And again, maybe it's because I'm not making enough money. but maybe it's not going to change. Okay, I don't know. I definitely do know that there's different people thinking different things, and I also understand that, like, it's like morally probably wrong to spend 50K and just giving it to my dad instead of taking 50K and building like half a village in Africa, right? I'm pretty sure, like, if you think about that logically, there's more people you help there. They're more in need. My dad is fine. Like, he's not depending on the 50K. This is more of a luxury thing, but I still decide to give him the money. Maybe that's wrong, but this is just something I decided for myself. I do what the fuck I want with my money, and you need to decide what you do with yours. Okay. And this is just, I want you to start thinking a little bit bigger, because in the beginning, again, I couldn't imagine ever making more than 100, like 3K a month in profit per net. I wasn't able to wrap my mind around that. It was not something which is like, it seemed even real. But when you get there, it starts to become real. Okay. And I want you to understand that every time you hit a milestone, a new thing is going to come up, new issues and new goals. And this is also something I want you to take away from this video. It doesn't go without each other. Problems and scale is literally tied together. Whenever you have a small problem in the business and you start scaling, the problem becomes bigger. Again, let me repeat that. Whenever you scale your business with a tiny problem, the problem becomes a huge issue. This is something I had to learn the hard way. And this is something I had to learn the hard way. And I personally think that you need to be aware of that, because when you're doing only 10K a month and you have a bunch of structural issues in your business, it's fine. But then you scale to 100 and you're done. Okay. And by the way, I'm only talking about profit after tax over here. Okay. This everything I was talking about, only profit after tax. So I think we can wrap up the video here. Please let me know if you like this type of concept, like of this video, way more like uncut, raw, and me just being a little bit more personal about these things and just telling stories and explaining new concepts a little bit more in depth. Let's see how this performs. I'm down to do more of this or more of the hyper edited style. So that's that. If you want to get started with my program, you can click the link below. We basically will help you from A to Z, not only getting to 10K profit per month, but much more. And also, basically, it's going to be a couple, like, the program is divided in a couple of things. Number one, it's going to be specifics. So how do you pick amazing products? Us looking over that. What is a good product? What is a bad product? And literally looking over your sheet, telling you this is good, this is bad. Same thing with your videos, giving you like practical advice, what to change in terms of the videos themselves. All these things, making the store. That's going to be one step, one part of it. The other part is going to be certainty and accountability. We're going to look over the things you do and tell you and call you out on bullshit. If we see that you're slacking, we're going to tell you, you suck. You need to do more. And if you don't, you're not going to succeed. And the standards are going to be different. Okay. I see so many people joining the program and they feel productive because they posted 2 videos a day. What? 2 videos? That's it? Every day, 2 videos? Like that's an hour of work. 1-2 hours. That's it. You cannot do that. All right. You need to be posting way more. We're going to show you what a standard is. You're going to be in the calls. You're going to see about, like, you're going to have a bunch of one-on-one calls. You're going to have group calls. You're going to have WhatsApp support. You're going to have a bunch of different things, like one-on-one WhatsApp support. But you're going to be in the group calls and you're going to see other people and they're going to be like, yeah, today I posted 9 videos. They all sucked. I didn't go viral. What did I do wrong? And then we tell you, and then there's going to be another video, and another person is going to tell you like, or like ask a question. Okay, I went viral, made 5K today. What can I do to improve the AOV? You're going to see all these things, and it's going to open your mind to what the standard is. everybody around you is going to be posting 100% more than you. Okay, everybody. And you're going to be like, damn, I'm the loser in the room. I have to step up. You're going to see all the people from the case studies, which we post on this YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, we have like a playlist with like so many case studies. It's just at this point, like, it's a fact that the strategy works. Nobody has as many testimonials as we do. We help Mikey, which is also, it's easy to help 1 out of 100 people, but it's very difficult to help 1 out of 1. Like what we did with Mikey, the guy who documented the entire journey, was he posted everything, whether it failed or whether it did well. And we were able to get him to like 100K a month, all right, with 50K profit a month. So that's something which is like, it's not doable if you don't have a good strategy and a good student. He was on point. He is really dialed in. So the thing I told you earlier about the time, like how much time you have to spend to actually make this work, he has put in the hours, and you're going to have to as well if you want to make this work. So this is the only thing I will expect from you. You putting in the hours. The rest you can expect from us. All right. If you put in the hours, if you put in the work, you're going to make money. It's as simple as that. 10K profit per month is very achievable if you consistently put in the hours for a few months. Okay. If you're interested, click the link below. We'll sign up for a call. We're going to see if it's a good fit, and then we talk.